end of season interview with Ian Long. It's been your first season with a hybrid programme at a club, and obviously the first season this club has had a hybrid programme. What has it been like working with that?
It's been really enjoyable. We've had a great group of lads that really get on well in themselves, and I'd like to think that we've got a good relationship with them. So I think it's been really successful, and like I say, it's been really enjoyable. I've been out many a time on the grass with them and said, it's better than working in a factory, lads, even when the weather's been poor and it's been raining and windy and stuff like that. I said, look, lads, I wish this opportunity was available for me when I was a player. So yeah, it's been really enjoyable, and it's helped us add more to our game as well. It add to our skill sets as a management team as well. Me and Rich and the goalkeeping coach Akko at first, and obviously Cooksey in the second stage. But it's been really enjoyable, and I think that's down to the group of players that we've done it with, because they're easy to get on with. They want to get on. They're hungry for success, and I think the whole thing has been really good.
And obviously in this season, let's talk about our league form. So what did you make of our league campaign this season?
A little bit disappointed. I think I know the reasons why. The FA Cup has obviously took a massive priority. There was games where we didn't play because of the FA Cup. We called games off on the lead up to FA Cup games, and obviously we missed fixtures when them FA Cup games were taking place. So it left us playing catch up in terms of our league form, and also the massive hangover that we had when we actually got knocked out of the FA Cup. I knew it was coming. I tried everything in my powers to not let it happen, but it happened. We're a young side, and people forget that sometimes, how young we actually are. And they've gone from playing in front of TV cameras and thousands of people to going back in front of a couple of hundred people in games that they think are less important. And there's no doubt about it, we had a wobble, and inevitably that's probably cost us pushing on and potentially making a good play for the playoffs.
And obviously, you did mention the FA Cup there. We obviously did get to the second round of proper. What are your thoughts on that whole FA Cup run?
It was brilliant, and not just the Cheltenham game, which obviously was the pinnacle, beating the League One side away from home. The comeback against Mickleover in the first qualifier that we played in, was 2-0 down against Mickleover, to come back and win 3-2 away from home was a really, really good result. Obviously wins against Harbour Town and Nuneaton at home. Nuneaton, we've seen what they've done in the league this season. We beat them 4-0. That was a really, really top performance by the lads. And then we went and beat Worksop, albeit they're a step 4 side, but we've seen how well they've done this season. They've won their league at a canter, a lot of experience, and that was a really good day. I thought it was a really good performance. Their 2 late consolation goals probably put a little bit of a dampener on the scoreline, but I thought we were really convincing on the day, and obviously a little disappointed to concede them late goals, but really top performances. And yeah, to get to the first round was unbelievable, and then to have the live draw down at Lye Meadow, and have all them TV cameras and all that limelight that we all had at the time. It was a really good experience. And then, like I say, the pinnacle was to go and beat Cheltenham away from home, in front of a packed house. Yeah, and then obviously with the live game against Forest Green, a first for me and a first for a lot of the lads, I think, live on television. So yeah, wonderful memories that I think you'll take to the grave with you. And what we say to these lads, that they'll remember that for the rest of their lives and their careers.
And obviously that's such a big moment in our season, but was there any moments in particular that were just quite hard as a manager this season?
that the run for me personally after the FA Cup, we conceded 15 goals in 5 games, 3 in each game. We took 1 point. That was really difficult for me to go through that. We eventually changed the shape and we turned a little bit of a corner and started getting some results then. But it was difficult for me, you know, when we're going to beat league sides away from home, that we wasn't getting a tune out of the players after that. But again, lack of experience perhaps in the side. We didn't react well to the Forest Green defeat, so that was hard. And losing players like Jamie Willits and Ethan Sefton, who were part of that FA Cup run, and obviously Jamie I've had for numerous years here, a lot of years. That was difficult to lose him, captain of the club. And then obviously Ethan, who's again been here from a youth teamer, and to lose him as well, which was disappointing, and you know, I wanted to keep them players with the club.
And obviously, on a positive note, is there any particular moment this season that was your most proudest, probably as a manager?
Again, the Cheltenham game, that was amazing, but there's a few things that stick out in my mind. The one was after the game when we were in the bar, in the Cheltenham bar, and when we was about to leave, the remainder of the Cheltenham fans, probably 50 people in the bar, all got on their feet and clapped us out, and I felt that was a really good moment for us, and you know, really appreciated that the Cheltenham fans showed a real bit of class. So that really sticks out in my mind. That was an amazing feeling to be clapped out the away bar. That was probably the most. And there was one of the radio commentaries I heard, WM. They come on, and I think it was WM. We might have been BBC Hereford and Worcester, and they said something along the lines of so many places above them, but nothing makes up for hard work, endeavour, and heart, and all these things. And obviously for them things to be said about your team is it makes you really proud of the bunch of players that we had and what they achieved. So yeah, probably that little bit of commentary and the Cheltenham fans standing up and giving us a standing ovation as we left their bar was probably the two most proudest moments of the season, and probably in my career as well.
That's great. Thank you, Gaffer.
No worries.